Hello and welcome to our short video on how to complete your tax return form. This video should give you all the information you will need before completing the form. Your tax return form is a 6-page document. Make sure you have a copy of the form to hand while you watch this video. If you don't have a tax return form, head over to our website to download a copy. Don't forget that the Irish tax year runs from January to December. If you're completing returns for multiple tax years, we will need a form for each year. This includes rental income forms, self-employed forms, and medical expenses forms. We will require supporting documents for certain sections of this tax return form, which will be detailed later in the video. Please send any supporting documents to us electronically where possible, as we continue our efforts to reduce our carbon footprint. Please be aware that the questions listed throughout our tax return form are made up of information required by Revenue and information we require to assure that the tax return is prepared accurately. Page 1 of your tax return form is all related to your personal details. Now that you've popped your personal details onto page 1, let's head to the second page, which is solely related to medical expenses. If you are claiming tax relief in respect of a contribution made towards the cost of nursing home care, Revenue will require the PPSN and name of the individual receiving care, together with the name and address of the nursing home they reside in. The PPSN may be obtained from social welfare or pension payslips. Tax relief may only be claimed on expenses paid by you or your spouse for the care and maintenance of somebody in a nursing home. Payments from other family members, DSP or the HSE are not deductible on your tax return. There is tax relief available for non-routine dental expenses. However, Revenue will require a Form MED2 to process the claim. This form must be completed and stamped by your dentist for you to be eligible for tax relief. Dental checkups, polishes and cleaning are not tax deductible. Routine optical expenses such as glasses, contact lenses, eye tests, they are also not tax deductible. Please fill in your total annual medical costs under each heading listed on page 2. If there are any medical expenses you incurred which do not fit into the categories listed on page 2, please provide us with a brief description, or alternatively send us the receipts and a tax advisor will review it for you. Your pharmacy or GP may be able to provide you with an annual statement if you have mislaid some receipts. If you want a tax advisor to review your medical insurance claim statement or any other medical documents, please send us a copy of your medical expenses. If you have claimed some or all of your medical expenses through a medical insurance policy or other compensation claim, please provide us with the details of the refund received, as this will need to be included on your tax return. Now that you've filled in your medical expense details on page 2, it's time to head to page 3 of our tax return form. The first section of this page deals with non-PAYE income. If you have an additional source of income outside of your salary or pension, please tick the relevant box. If you received dividend income, deposit interest, or income from abroad, we will require supporting documentation to correctly treat this in your tax return. If you are in receipt of rental income or self-employed income, you will need to fill in an additional form and watch another short video with details on how to complete same. The Stay and Spend scheme allowed for tax relief on certain qualifying expenditure on holiday accommodation or restaurants between October 2020 and April 2021. If you have any qualifying receipts for this period, please send them to us for review. The third section of page 3 relates to additional tax credits that you may be entitled to. If you paid for third level college fees, please provide us with the following information: the name of the student, third level college and course attended, whether full-time or part-time, tuition fees paid, duration of course, and proof of payment for fees. If you or your spouse make payments outside of payroll deductions for additional pension contributions or salary protection, otherwise known as permanent health insurance payments, we will need proof of payment to claim the tax relief on these. Please note, if you are making pension contributions or salary protection payments which are set up, for example by Cornmarket, and are being deducted from your payslip, no further information is needed as tax relief is being applied at source. The final section on page 3 deals with working from home tax credits. Revenue allows a tax deduction for people who work remotely, and we will need details of the utilities and broadband paid for the year along with the number of days worked remotely. Please don't include annual leave or other time off work when completing this section. Page 4 deals with the rent tax credit, which was introduced in 2022. If you rent your home or pay rent for a child, for work or study, please complete this section. To verify the claim for the rent tax credit, Revenue will require the following information: the address and air code of the property rented, the tenancy start date and end date or estimated end date, the name, date of birth and PPSN of the tenant, and the total rent paid for the calendar year. In addition to these details for the tenant, they will also require some information about the landlord. Please provide details of landlord or letting agent's name and RTB number for the tenancy. If you do not have the RTB number, please provide us with the landlord's name and PPSN if available. In the final section of page 4, we look at the mortgage interest tax credit, which was introduced in 2023. If the outstanding balance on your mortgage was between $80,000 and $500,000 on the 31st of December 2022, and you continued to pay mortgage interest in 2023 and 24, please provide us with your mortgage interest certificates. The first section of the 5th page of the tax return form relates to retirement. If you or your spouse have retired in the last 5 years or are retiring soon, please fill in this section. We aim to ensure that you claim the maximum tax relief due to you on any gratuity lump sum deductions you may incur or any pension contributions you may have made before you retired. Please provide us with supporting documentation in relation to your pension or gratuity deductions for review. If you are retiring this year and are making a once-off pension contribution or have deductions from your gratuity lump sum, please send us the corresponding documents for review. The next section of page 5 on the tax return form deals with the tax treatment of assets you may have received or inherited or indeed sold recently. If you have recently inherited or are due to inherit an asset, please complete this section or call us with any queries you may have. If you recently sold an asset which you believe you made a profit on, please call us as the tax deadline may be approaching. Page 6 of the tax return form leaves space for any questions or declarations not addressed in the other pages. Please fill in any comments or questions you have here and we will review and address them when completing your tax return. Finally, please sign the form where indicated on page 6 and provide us with the bank details you wish for us to use for direct refund from the Revenue Commissioners. We are making every effort to cut down on our paper consumption and would greatly appreciate if you can send us the completed tax return form and supporting documents electronically where possible. Our email address is tax@cornmarket.ie. Alternatively, please photocopy any original invoices or receipts you send to us. Our address is provided on each form. Don't forget, the earlier you send us in your form, the sooner we can find out if you are due a refund. If we have any queries on the information you've completed on this form, we will contact you directly.